Alright everybody, step number 3 here. It's pretty simple. Let's get started. I'm going to minimize these and write in our new step number 3. Alright. Step number 3 is cabinets, and that's basically a pretty simple way of looking at it. We're basically going to put cabinets from this point to this point and show you exactly how to do that. Make sure they look real nice. Alright, I'm just changing this up for you just a little bit. Alright, step number 3, cabinets. Let's get into it. First thing we want to do is we know that our sinks are going to have to be centered on this plumbing. Now, when I originally did this, I just threw out some random numbers here to get us our dimensions. So I had 32 and 7/16, you know, to 40 something, which I can change that. So 32 to 40 and a half. Now this isn't going to work, so I'm going to move this over just a little bit. Now obviously your plumbing can't be changed, so you're going to have to kind of work with your plumbing. I just threw these numbers out randomly in our first step here, so I just figured out this is not going to work. So 79 and 3/8 is where it starts, and then let's just say that it ends at, I can't even read that. Let's see what it says here. At 88 and 11/16. So they're just random numbers for our plumbing. That's where it's sticking off of the wall. So we just need to make sure that our sink covers this area. So what we're going to want to do here is grab a sink cabinet. Now since this is a guest bath, I am going to use a base 2-door sink with no false front. And that's what this cabinet is right here. It's just basically 2 doors, real simple cabinets, open on the top, open on the back, right here, as you can see. And the nice thing about it being open on the back is that you're going to be able to put your plumbing in without any issues. Okay. So I am going to shrink this one down. Now I like to use, for my sink cabinets, I'm just making the size here, I like to use a 24-inch wide sink cabinet whenever I can. 24 inches is great because it'll fit most sinks, most common sinks really. The depth is going to be 22 inches from the back to the front of the cabinet. It's 22. And I'm going to make it symmetrical. Now the thing to look at when we're doing layout here, I just threw these cabinets on the wall. Stick with the dimensions here. I want this to be equal distance from here to here, as from here to here. Obviously you don't want this cabinet that's going to be between 15 and 16. You don't want that one to be like wider than it is over here. You kind of want everything to be symmetrical, you know, especially when you're doing these freestanding style vanities. So let's see what we can do here. And obviously you want to maximize your space. So let's just make it 11 from here to here. And now technically we can go even more. Let's go 12. And we're just kind of playing around with that. Now as long as this plumbing is inside of the cabinet, you know, with a little bit of play, that's great. We'll be good to go. So as you see there, I'm going to make this one right here 12. I'm changing this dimension right here. Okay, so I'm going to make 12 here, 12 here. Okay, and in the middle between these two, I got 19 and roughly 19 and a half. You could order 19 and a half and expand this just a little bit if you need to round off to the 1/4-inch increment. So next thing we want to do is take a look at it on the front view. Alright, so what we have here is our cabinets. They're all set up. We have missing cabinets here in between. But doing the sink cabinets, to kind of recap just a little bit for you, just make sure your plumbing's inside of your cabinet with a little bit of play here. You don't want this thing to be like, for example, this would not work. Right there. That's too close. You need a little bit of room. And I'll zoom in on that for you. See, that plumbing is like right there, right next to the edge. Now, if that intrudes even just a little bit on this partition of the cabinet, you're going to run into a lot of problems on site when you're trying to install. So just make it like this. But just keep it inside the cabinet. Give yourself about 1 inch of play. All right? Next thing we do here, we know how big the cabinets are going to be. I like to use 3-drawer base cabinets. I'm going to put that right there in the middle. I'm going to adjust my size. So I'm basically changing the depth to 22 because it's from back to front of the cabinet. It's 22 inches deep. Okay, real simple. Alright, next thing we want to do is fill in these voids right here. You can do this on the front view or the other side. And obviously you can follow along with graph paper. You don't have to use a computer program like I'm using. My handwriting is just terrible. So what I did is I just took a 1-door, 1-drawer base cabinet. Obviously all these cabinets can be found in the vanity cabinets on a website. Just go to standard, and all these cabinets you could choose from. Lots of stuff to do here. I'm going to use a 1-door, 1-drawer base cabinet. Putting it over here. Opening it up. I'm just going to switch the hinge side over so it looks better. So that's pretty much it. So let's go back to the top view. Let me adjust the depths of these because they come out at 24, which we're ordering 22-inch deep base cabinets because we're going back to our standards. There we go. So that's pretty much it. Now I have a very symmetrical vanity. So you can see here, if you draw a line right between the two, it's identical on each side. So basically, let's just kind of move over here and kind of see what we're looking at. So now I have all my cabinets. I basically have a base finished in wide style here, 8 inches away from the wall. Another base finished in wide style here. It's basically a mirror image of the opposite side. One door, one drawer base cabinet, one door, one drawer base cabinet, 2 sink cabinets, identical, and then one center cabinet, which is a 3 drawer base. Now this is good because you can put, you know, toothbrush or whatever you want in the middle here, maybe hair dryers. You know, it's a pretty functional cabinet. You got soft closing drawer guides, all this other stuff, the whole 9 yards. All right, so that's pretty much it. Let's take a look at it, see what it looks like in 3D. And it'll render. I'll zoom in just a little bit here, and you can kind of see what we've achieved for this very simple and very easy to lay out cabinet. There it is. Now, on the next step, we'll trick it out a little bit with some toe skins and maybe some countertops. Put some sinks in there, some faucets. You know, make this thing look really cool and kind of give you like a little idea of what it'll look like when it's all said and done. Let's move on to step number 4.